Satang Prasanga.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and welcome to today's session. I pray that all is well with you and your families at this time. So today we're moving on to the next sutra, and it goes as follows. Broken people have stopped making demands how things should happen. They leave themselves available for Krishna to do anything he pleases. They are surrendered. They are accepting and dependent. This attitude causes intimacy and privilege in their service. In warfare, there's two ways to surrender. One, which is more humiliating, is to be defeated and then surrender. And the other one is to volunteer and then surrender. So in bhakti, we also have these two situations, that we surrender to Krishna either out of inspiration by knowledge or out of desperation by being defeated by the material nature so many times that we've just had it. We're totally convinced now there's no way we can take on this material nature. Just surrender to what Krishna is saying. In the amongst the older folks, there used to be a saying, there is no fool like a young fool. Because he's got the energy and he's got the curiosity and he's willing to try anything. He's got the young body, which means even if there's some damage, it'll be repaired. An old person can't afford that. I remember Jay Advaita Maharaj once saying that old age means you stop fighting the material energy. You stop fighting. Why? Because at this age you don't have the bodily strength, you don't have the mental strength, and your whole life you've been knocked over by the material energy. When are we going to learn? When are we going to say, okay, I give up now? And Krishna, I'm ready to listen to you. So the sutra goes on to say, broken people have stopped making demands how things should happen. They leave themselves available for Krishna to do anything he pleases. We see there's a very beautiful exchange that happens between a child and its parent, especially the father, whereby the father picks up the child and puts him on a counter or on a table. And then the father stands back, maybe half a meter back. And he says, jump, I'll catch you. And at first the child is like, no, daddy, no. And then the father says, no, I'm right here. Jump, I'll catch you. And now the father is observing how much has the child learned to trust the father. And you can see what's happening in the child's face, and you can see what's happening in the child's mind, that the child is like, can I really trust this fellow? Can I really trust him that he's going to catch me? Because, many times he didn't give me my sweets, So this time now, can I really trust him, So 99% of the time, the child will jump and the father will catch the child. Of course, there's still that 1% average. So we don't know what happened in that case. But most of the time the child will jump, and it's such a warm exchange because the father then is also has some conviction that, oh, you really do trust me. So that's a very sweet exchange that happens between children and parents. So too in our spiritual lives, have we built enough conviction that Krishna is going to be there to catch us? That after all he says in Bhagavad Gita, maybe Arjuna was just so special. That's why he has that level of conviction. But will Krishna really be there? Well, we'll never know until we have that level of conviction, until we're ready to jump, knowingly that he's going to catch. And that's the nature of love. It's uncertain. Nobody can explain what is love. Nobody, the closest we come to it is poets. And they describe it in flowery language. So you cannot know really what is love until you experience it. And then when you experience it, you see the person is completely intoxicated by it. Because it's such a powerful exchange. It's such a powerful energy. So we will never know until we trust Krishna enough that he will catch us. So once we're in this state of mind, even our prayer will start to change. Our requests will start to change from protection. Most of the time we asking for protection, protect my family, protect my children. And demands for necessities. We need this, we need that, we need this. I need a stable job, I need good health, I need a good house. Not asking for a lot, One guy was giving directions once. So he says, you go up to this area, and it's a big posh area. So as you come up the road, you come, as you reach to the top there, it's the big double-story house on the right. If you go there, that big double-story house with the 3 BMWs parked outside, my house is right next to that. So, we judge people by the value of their homes, their cars, their clothing, watches, different things like that. So eventually those kind of prayers are gradually moved away, and the devotee is praying for devotional service. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does in Shikshastikam. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisa kamaye, mama janmani janmaneshware, bhavatad bhakti ravitakitoy. That my Lord, I don't want dhanam, I don't want wealth, na janam, or great fame as a great birth, na sundarim, or a beautiful spouse. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth. Because this is the only thing that is valuable. This is the only thing that is real. The rest of it is all real within the dream. So why invest so much of energy into that? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is encouraging us that this is the thing of real value. It goes on to say here, they are surrendered, they are accepting and dependent. These are very powerful words, accepting and dependent. To get to that stage where one can be so, it's not easy. I remember my friend from South India used to tell us this joke that many of the big businessmen in South India, they have business partnership with Balaji from Tirupati, Tirupati Balaji. So they have business partnerships with him. So when they open their business, 50% of the business belongs to Balaji and 50% is mine. So every year they make their pilgrimage and put their donation of the 50% into Balaji's hundi. And Tirupati, the big hundis they have there. And you just see people throwing their big amounts of money, gold, jewelry for Balaji's service there. So this one person, His gross annual profit for the year was 1 crore rupees. But he only made 50 lakh rupees as a profit. So he's thinking now, hey, now if I had to give Balaji half here, I'll only end up with 25. So he goes to the God lamp and he prays, oh Balaji, you're so clever. You already took your 50%, therefore I'll take my portion now. So we make this kind of arrangements with the Lord. No, you already took your part. By providence, that 50% that didn't come to me, that is yours only. Only that is yours. So whatever has come now, that is mine. So we make our own arrangements with the Lord. And Krishna is humored at some times, but he can also be, Ugra form can come out, Nrsingadev. So, yes, we have some interesting ways in which we deal with the Lord. So the sutra goes on to say, this attitude causes intimacy and privilege in their service. So what is that intimacy and privilege? That Krishna himself is intervening in your life. He's not sending a second or third party. He himself, shin swakatha Krishna, punya shravana kirtana, hridayantasto yabhadrani, vidinoti surit satam. So Krishna is saying, for one who is Srinvata Swakatha Krishna, is constantly hearing about Krishna Katha, reading about Krishna, then for him all the dirty things in the heart is vanquished. So who is doing that cleaning? You remember, heart is where we keep our most valuable things. That's why we have lust, anger, greed, hatred, envy, illusion kept there. And if they are there already, where's the place for Krishna? The heart is not so big, no. So where is the place for Krishna? Therefore he has to clean all those things out first, then only go in. And we said before how Krishna is threefold bending form. So when he goes in, you can't take him out. So it's a beautiful analogy and description of how Krishna, he does the cleaning. He does the cleaning of our hearts by the intimate relationship that we've developed with him and the intimacy that we are developing. He is very pleased with these efforts, and then he personally comes and helps the devotee. Love means exclusiveness. We can only be completely dependent if we have nothing, no other alternatives. And Krishna, he is giving his love exclusively as well, right? He is giving his love exclusively. And you don't want to have a relationship with someone who gives their heart and also gives their heart somewhere else. You want the person to yourself. You want the person's complete attention. That is most pleasing to you. So same with this relationship that we're building with Krishna. We want Krishna's complete attention. We want complete intimacy with Krishna. And he wants the same. So that requires a lot of development. That requires a lot of cultivation. So as we're growing from Vaidhi Bhakti to that very confidential stage of Raga Nuga Bhakti, these intimate points need to be taken consideration very deeply. We have to consider them very deeply. We have to consider them very deeply so that the foundation of the relationship that we're building with Krishna is solid. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Please join us again tomorrow. Hare Krishna.